Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. First up, Larry David melts down over Bill Maher having dinner with President Trump, comparing it to dining with Adolf Hitler. Nothing says I'm a free-thinking comedy rebel like making the exact same political comparison as every single person at your Beverly Hills cocktail party. Then, Elizabeth Warren tries to convince us that President Biden was mentally sharp while trying not to laugh through her own sentence. She actually defended Biden by saying he could speak in sentences. I mean, why not just say he eats soft foods all by himself? He can almost put his pants on. Anyway, we've got the video clip. Next, a Minnesota state employee caused over $20,000 in damages to Teslas, and the woke DA decided not to press charges. Apparently, in Minneapolis, if you hate Elon Musk enough, you unlock diplomatic immunity. And finally, Al Gore compares Trump to the Third Reich at a climate event again. For a guy who's been cashing in on apocalyptic fear for 20 years, it's got to be terrifying when people stop buying the end of the world merch. Okay, let's dive in. Larry David just compared Bill Maher's dinner with President Trump to having dinner with Adolf Hitler. Apparently, Larry just discovered the Trump-Hitler comparison. It's like watching a grandpa discover his middle finger. It's just sad, really. Larry wrote an op-ed in the New York Times titled, "My Dinner with Adolf," where he pretends to dine with Hitler in an attempt to shame Bill Maher for meeting with President Trump. Larry started the piece by writing that no one I knew encouraged me to go visit Hitler, and he concluded by giving Hitler a Sieg Heil before saying, "Although we disagree on many issues, it doesn't mean that we have to hate each other." Apparently, in Larry's version of history, the Holocaust was just being a little optimistic on property values to get better terms on a business loan. If Trump were really Hitler, Larry David wouldn't be publishing op-eds. He'd be hiding in a bunker with Lena Dunham. Senator Elizabeth Warren, or as her tribe calls her, speaks with forked tongue, recently appeared on the Talk Easy podcast, where she was asked if she regretted saying that former President Biden was mentally sharp.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
I said I had not seen decline. And I hadn't at that point.
You did not see any decline from 2024 Joe Biden to 2021 Joe Biden?
Not when I said that.
That's not a defense, Elizabeth. That's a confession that you need new glasses and a CAT scan. And did you see her trying not to laugh? Hey, it's hard to keep a straight face when you're lying to 330 million people.
You know, the thing is, he was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Biden was on his feet? That's like bragging your Uber driver was conscious. And he can speak in sentences is not a selling point to be the president. It's the kind of thing you say when a guy wakes up from a coma. A man employed by Tim Walz isn't getting charged despite causing $20,000 in damages to half a dozen Teslas. 33-year-old Dylan Bryan Adams was seen keying and stripping paint off of Teslas while out walking his dog. And progressive DA Mary Moriarty has opted to seek diversion rather than criminal charges. Diversion is legal speak for, "We noticed you hate the same guy we do, so let's give you a high five." In response to this, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara issued this statement. The Minneapolis Police Department did its job. It identified and investigated a crime trend, identified and arrested a suspect, and presented a case file to the Hennepin County Attorney Office for consideration of charges. This case impacted at least 6 different victims and totaled over $20,000 in damages. Any frustration related to the charging decision of the Hennepin County Attorney should be directed solely at her office. Apparently, in Minneapolis, the best way to vandalize property is to work for Tim Walz. Crime isn't something to punish, it's an opportunity for personal growth. The standard Tim Walz employee orientation includes advanced car keying and how to walk your dog while committing felonies. At a climate change event, former Vice President Al Gore compared the Trump administration to Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party.
Use what is not a precedent. I understand very well why it is wrong to compare Adolf Hitler's Third Reich to any other movement. It was uniquely evil, full stop. I get it.
I sense a but coming.
But there are important lessons from the history of that emergent evil, and here is one that I regard as essential. He described how the Nazis, and I quote again, attacked the very heart of the distinction between true and false, end quote. The Trump administration is insisting on trying to create their own preferred version of reality.
So the Trump administration is blurring the line between truth and fiction, coming from the guy who invented the internet and said we'd all be underwater by 2013. Al Gore. He used to get standing ovations and carbon credits. Now he gets podcast invites and a polite golf clap from Greta Thunberg. Thanks for watching Headlines. And if you know anyone out there that you think would enjoy my clips or my videos, please do share them. I would really appreciate it. I'm Wes Austin. Good night.